G'day listeners, you are on the Big V podcast pre-season 2023. We are talking Youth League 2 men today. Nice and short, 5-minute clip. Let's get straight into it. We have two new teams entering the league for the very first time. They both have senior teams, but now they're in Youth League. We have Melbourne University and Surf Coast.
Yeah, really exciting, Ted. This pushes both our conferences out to 8.
Yeah.
So it is run similar to what people are familiar with the VYC competitions, 2 conferences of 8, with crossovers come finals time.
Yep.
But yeah, Melbourne Uni and Surf Coast enter the competition, and we expect with a bit of a bang.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they'll come in red hot. Yeah, they'll have some upsets immediately, I reckon. And with both of these teams, like I said, having senior teams, there will be some sort of integration there, whether they're training together or not. I'm sure there'll be some communication as to what they're going to run offensively, how they're going to run their system, how they're going to play out this season. I think it's going to be super interesting.
Yeah, certainly exciting. And I guess it sort of brings us to talk about some of the other changes of the division. We've had the Youth League 2 champs of Keysborough have gone up to Youth League 1, which I'm sure there'll be many people thrilled about after their dominant season.
Yeah.
And then we have Warrandyte, Youth League 1 men, come down to Youth League 2 after probably a season they wouldn't have loved. But they'll be ready and prepared, and they've got a second-year coach now in Paul Collins down there that'll be ready to try and get them straight back up to Youth League 1 with a successful season.
Yeah, absolutely. You can expect them to hover around, that middle to top contention. There obviously is a lot of talent in Youth League 2 men, so you can't expect them just to blow up. But, it's going to be interesting to see.
Let's quickly talk conferences, Ted. So we've spoken, there's 8 in each.
Yeah.
This year, slightly different. It's done geographically.
That's cool.
Well, we can understand there's a heap of travel in this competition. We've got potentially, you've got games with Albury Wodonga. We've got Southern Peninsula, Western Port. You go across to the Surf Coast. There is potentially a lot of kilometres to rack up in this division.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you do those Albury Northeast trips on the Saturdays and Sundays. They're crazy.
Yeah, that makes for a very big weekend. But, all of a sudden you're playing your own conference, which is based on geography, that we play them twice across the year, whereas you only cross over and play the other conference once. So, should reduce a little bit of travel, and hopefully sort of teams can be better prepared for some of those longer road trips.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always interesting to see how it sort of impacts players and impacts teams. This is Youth League. So these guys are a little bit younger. Some of them are still in school. Some of them are in, doing college and university and the like. So, there is a lot of trouble here, as we said. So it'll be interesting to see how that does impact their playing.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you make for grand finalists in 2022? Pakenham.
Pakenham have to be around again. They've retained majority of their team. They got Michael Johns back. They got Jackson Gray back. They're both ready to return. They're both ready to be those MVP candidates again. I think it's going to be crucial for them to hold on to what they had last year because they were so close.
So close. And the pleasing thing for Pakenham is their junior program gets stronger every year.
Yeah.
So they've constantly got new blood coming through. And whilst I expect Michael Johns will play some sort of a role with the Pakenham senior team, I no doubt there's another Michael Johns sort of waiting in the wings, ready to step up and fill those shoes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be great to see Johns move up into that senior competition. Also, we love him down in Youth League because he's so dominant. He's always got something up his sleeve. He's so classy, so cruisy with how he does everything. But it's super effective.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued.
Let's talk other MVP candidates, Ted. What are you thinking?
Look, Maccabi's got Jared Fibashenko. They didn't have an amazing season, but he's always going to be up there. He was a constant hot topic. He averaged 22 points or 21 points per game. But he averaged 12 rebounds per game.
Wow. It's a walking dub.
He really is. Yeah, Dylan Moore, who was at Keysborough, he's moved on. So there's a lot of other guys that could be in the mix. So, I'm super intrigued, really.
Let's quickly talk one more thing, Ted. In 2024, we're bringing in a grading system for our Youth League competitions. Now, Pakenham wouldn't be in this situation of having to necessarily play in another Youth League 2 again because what happens, top 4 teams are going to be in a playoff in early February 2024 against the bottom 4 teams of Youth League 1 all of a sudden we might have some wholesale changes across the board there, with teams having the opportunity to go up, but also teams dropping down to create a more balanced competition.
Yeah, it's going to be super intriguing. I'm excited for that date. I'm really looking forward to those games, and they are a massive, build up to round one, which is
Huge
what we like
event
to see.
for us. It's going to be great.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. That was our Youth League 2 men. Stay locked, stay tuned in. We'll hear from you soon.